Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well because today we're talking about music and we're taking a look at the latest album from Brazilian punk rock band Armada. This is their album Tales of Treason. This came out on May 10th, 2024 from Pirate Press Records. I was sent a review code from the wonderful humans up at Pirate Press, or I guess from here down at Pirate Press. So as always, thank you so much for that code. Let's get into the album. This is a really cool album. Right off the bat, the musical inspirations are. This is going to sound weird, but it's one of those if you get it, you get it. If you know, you know, kind of things. Remember, remember CDs. Remember when you were buying those like Punkorama compilations? You're usually familiar with not all the bands, but a good chunk of them. You know, you've got like the big heavy hitters. You know, the Rancids, the NoFXs, and then you've got your offs or your lagwagons. But then there's those bands that took you by surprise. Maybe they became a favorite band, but maybe they were just one you looked forward to whenever you did pick up the latest compilation from, Epitaph or Fat Wreck or Hellcat or whatever it may have been. This reminds me a lot of that. It's kind of skate punky. It's very melodic. It just feels comforting. Like it's new, but it just reminds me so much of those bands. Like the second I started listening to this, I could easily visualize, you know, pop it specifically. I don't know why, but Punkorama. I think it's Punkorama 3, where you have the big purple monstery letter 3 pissing on the wall. I think that's that one. Don't know why, but that was the one I visualized. Or no, is Punkorama 3 the one where it's like the circus and all the circus freaks? Regardless, that's a different video. But for if you're wondering, like, what does this sound like? Just kind of think of that. So let's get a bit more into the band and the album, then we'll kind of take a look at some of my favorite tracks. So I got my notes here. So obviously, Brazil's Armada from Sao Paulo. They began in 2017, and this is actually their first release in the English language. Usually they're singing in Portuguese. So they did have an EP out in 2018, and then 2019 they had their first full length. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Maybe I will. Ditadura Assassina. Yeah, let's go with that. But this is actually their first full length in English. And usually, for both, social and musical reasons, I like it when bands sing in kind of their language of origin. I think sometimes emotions can get lost along the way, or phrasings can get lost along the way. But it works really well here. I think, at least to me, to my ears, we're not really losing anything in translation. So that's cool. I would maybe like, I've seen a few bands do, like not a double album, but an album in, one language with a few of the tracks in their native language, or the other way around with some tracks in English. I like it when bands do that so you can kind of listen and compare and see which ones sound best to your own ears. All right, so it's not a super long album, but there's actually a lot of diversity on here. You do have a track, Battle Drums, that is a slower acoustic number, which is kind of cool. The track Last of My Kind, has the use of banjo, which is really cool. Not in like a folky way, but as much as you can when you're sort of incorporating that into punk, not folk punk, no, but different. And then you get a bit of rockabilly influence, both in terms of rhythm and the use of an organ for the closer, A Nation Divided, which is one of my favorite tracks, which is what we're getting to now. So again, not a super long album, as most punk albums aren't, but I picked out kind of my three favorite ones. And A Nation Divided, that's a good closer. So I really like the opener, Bullet Through the Heart. It feels like one of those sort of mid to early 90s no effects, sort of like mid-pace numbers, which when people kind of reference no effects or that kind of early mid 90s skate punk's melodic hardcore sound, it's usually the more galloping drum beats we hear referenced. We don't get that sort of slower-ish mid-paced musical reference, and I like that that's kind of the sound we're going for here. And again, I will say this certainly is, melodic hardcore skate punk inspired, but it's really, really hooky. I won't say it's poppy. It's not really pop punk, but I think there is an emphasis on making these really, really catchy songs. And I like that a lot. Next, I really like the track Wrong Side of America. It feels like a classic Bad Religion track with, politics and the need to use a dictionary included. And then finally, the pick that I got was Kings of North Park. There's a classic punk trope, and actually rock too, of kind of referencing very specific locations, very specific people, talking about how, that was formative for you, referencing people that are real, but all we know according to the song is Steve. But we listen to it not only through the music, are we like, yeah, I know Steve. It's like, yeah, I was there. I remember when that happened. Yeah, punk music does that a lot, and I really, really enjoy that. So that's kind of my short-ish review for this short-ish album, but I really encourage you to check it out. I believe it's out now on streaming services, but I know for sure you can pick up the physical vinyl at Pirate Press Records. And if you know me, you know I'm a physical format guy. Always any label pumping out physical media, I'm going to support. So I'm going to have the purchasing links down below. Throughout this video, you would have seen kind of pictures of the album cover and the releases as well. Support physical media, it's amazing, but I believe this is also available online, and I'll have some of those purchasing links as well. But there you go. Tales of Treason from Armada came out May 10th, 2024 on Pirate Press Records, and I will catch you all next time.